I confess I have no freaking idea about modern art and architecture, but this look at this. What is that?
Ew.
Ew, brother, ew. I'm very sure you know the channel Geopold, and he has a series of those USA state explanation videos, and I'm really curious about them, and I really want to watch them. And so since I have to eat dinner, you're gonna suffer with me together, and then we will just slap it on YouTube. So say hello, YouTube. Be nice in the chat. YouTube will see it. And I would say we would just go in.
The land of freedom,
loud.
fast food, highways, oil eagles, and
Oil
you know
eagles.
those fun, wholesome, harmless steel devices. Obviously, I'm talking about cars.
Darren, I said be nice.
Which you can use to travel from one state to another, of which there are 50 spanning 6 time zones, 4 million miles of road, and 200,000 fast food restaurants.
And a lot of podcasters to talk about it.
Well, today we're going to be going through those states one by one and ranking them all on this.
I have to say, I'm a European. I can't name every USA state, most likely. I know there's Georgia, because Americans do not know that Georgia is also a country in Europe. Hopefully my state is innocent. Well.
Beautiful tier list. Little disclaimer, this video is going to be in 2 parts because I want to make sure I
but it actually turned out into 3 parts.
actually talk about every state and not rush any essential analysis, maybe with the exception of South Dakota. Yeah, anyway.
What is with South Dakota?
The one unified video would just be far too long for some of you guys' attention spans. I would have to start incorporating some Subway Surfers gameplay.
God, no.
You get the idea. Our first state up is Florida, the ancestral lands of the world.
Florida. That is some insane hair, dude.
World famous Florida man. The
Florida man, claiming people were eating his brains, leads police on insane golf course change. What the hell? Is that true? Hello, Azen. Every time I name them, I usually forget like 2 or 3.
shining beacon of freedom, the mecca for redneck hillbillies and Disney adults.
No, I don't know them. How can you just assume something like that?
What?
Lina is just assuming things because she is hag. Can you tell her that she is wrong so that her hag head understand it? Oh, I get it. Lena's just making those wild assumptions because they're as dire hag and can't help.
What is happening?
I'll let them know their hag head doesn't get everything right. Maybe it'll knock some sense into them, and you'd think they'd have learned by now. But hey, hag's gonna hag, am I right?
Hag's gonna hag, let's go!
So like, hear me out right, these guys have to get an honorary S. Out of respect.
So Florida is the crocodile land, or is Florida's crocodile land, yes?
Because this state is truly the pinnacle of America. Everything they stand for, everything they fantasize about. Other states could only dream about the simply humongous amount of soulless corporate slop malls, the most gigantic, colossal.
Is that real? Is that real? This is not real. Do you see what I see? Yes? No. This is not real. Hi, Riken. Is it? Wait. I guess Florida, Riken. I'm not sure. This looks so unreal that I don't have words for it. Like, are those houses? Is this... that's houses. Okay, so we have trillions of houses. No, it's real. You can see it when you fly into Florida from a plane. Okay, but I have a logistical question. You have a bazillion of houses, and in this frame, I see 2 schools and 1 hospital. This looks like the carpet I had as a kid. Yeah. So, how on earth do you manage all of these households sending their kids, assumingly right now, to 2 high schools and 1 hospital? Guys, you need to play more. You need to play more NO 1800, because there you need to place your schools and houses more close by to a bigger audience, so that the people can be treated and their kids can go to school. How is it a city even? I don't. It just looks unreal. If Fane would not say this is real, and that I can see it when I like fly over it, I would say it's freaking fake. It's so bad. The park is called Freedom Park. Yeah, 4 Freedoms Park. And then we have Sunsplash Family Water Park. There are more parks than schools. I'm shocked, actually. Because Florida people are built different. They don't need the hospital. It's crazy, but it works. It's all higher end cost of living. My friend actually works for a government in Northern Florida. Really? Faint, if you would not tell me that this is real, I would just say it's freaking fake. And I do not believe it. This looks horrible. Like, where do you have nature? Like, here's a little splash, and here's, like, at the school it's a little splash, and down here's a little splash. This is horrible. What are those black part? Is that water? What is that? Can someone a faint? What is that? The very dark, or is that is water? Okay, at least they have water, but it looks horrible. Yeah, the Sims architecture, very, very, yeah. It's. I'm sorry to say this, but this is not a space I want to live in. I'm really, really sorry to say that. It's horrible for me. Jesus Christ, we're starting very strong and we're just 1 minute 20 seconds in.
Nauseating suburbs this world has ever.
Okay. Is GTA 6 gonna be like this? I hope not.
Seen this.
Did you see that?
Colossal, nauseating suburbs this world has ever seen.
It's just flat with houses and a couple trees. I shit you not. There are more houses than trees in this picture. I'm genuinely shocked. I'm really, really shocked. God, okay.
The sheer lack of any minorly usable public transport. The fucking...
And all that gets flooded almost every year. Oh boy, yeah, that's why the houses are made out of paper.
Highway systems. Oh my god, it's enough to make President Truman ascend into the clouds. Just look at this shit. That's a 2-hour drive, bro. Only in Florida. That's right, we only use boats to suspiciously traffic that one specific sugary, energizing, addicting substance into Miami. Hell yeah, I'm talking about Coca-Cola. Obviously, I'm talking about Coca-Cola. I mean...
I have Coca-Cola in the fridge. Be ready that I will get it later.
Almost 70% of Florida residents drink Coca-Cola
daily.
What the?
Yeah, well, I don't drink it daily. I have it like every couple days, maybe.
Nah, these guys have to get an S. It's unnegotiable.
I also heard that Coca-Cola is a big problem in Mexico. It was an older documentary, so I'm not sure how true it is at this point. But back in the day, like when the documentary was recorded, Mexico has a really, really big problem with Coca-Cola and like overall soft drinks. And of course, it increases the obesity rate drastically. Yep.
Next up, Georgia. Man, what can I say? King Carly, UFC, Stalin, Skibbity Toilet. These guys are seriously producing some of the best contributions to our world today. Wait, hold up.
Atlanta.
Oh, no. Yeah, this...
What is with Atlanta?
State is just mid, honestly. They got one of the world's worst managed urban sprawls.
Oh my god. This? Okay, if you would ask me how depression looks like, I would say this. God.
Pump them up because of this sheer megalith of music to come out of this state. Anyone from Ray Charles to Gucci Mane, I'm almost certain your favorite music legitimately wouldn't exist without the influence of this ugly American city.
Many are.
Peaches. You know a state's gonna be amazing when their entire pride is based around one fruit that they're...
I mean, I don't see a problem because of that, like with the peaches, because it's like very, very common, for example, in Japan, that they're very proud for specific regions to have specific fruit and have like the highest quality of them. So I would not say that is something bad, to be honest. And there are also like regions in Austria and stuff where they're so proud of the produce that they make. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing to be proud of peaches. Who doesn't like peaches?
Okay at growing.
Babe, how that peach cobbler tasting?
It's alright. I had better at the school cafeteria.
They can get a medium C out of respect. Man, South Carolina is just like Georgia, but without any of the redeeming qualities that Georgia has. Their biggest city has 150,000 people. Oh, hell nah, bro.
Is that small or big for America? 100,000, 50 people, 500 people. No, 150,000 people. My god, I can't talk anymore. You said it already. Has the highest quality. They didn't say that. Only proud of their stuff. Same as Ohio for corn.
I was trying to find a reason not to put you guys in D. So I looked up things South Carolina's known for. Comes up with the city of Columbia. You guys find me one person who hears the word Columbia and thinks of South Carolina. Bro, Columbia, British Columbia, Columbus, Christopher Columbus.
Oh boy. Aw, faint. How many parts of Carolina are there though? I have no idea, Daniel. I have no clue about the American structure of the states. I confess, like, we all know those like funny videos where Americans can't name a country in Europe and say like things like London. Hello, Dapo. I mean, I'm not that stupid. I can still name a couple, but it ends with a couple, and I acknowledge that the whole USA is a country. Thank you, Azen. Death Pookie? What did I miss?
District of Columbia, the fucking Coke brand. Ain't no one thinking about South Carolina, bro. Sorry to break it to you. I really got no reason to put South Carolina any higher than E. Sorry, guys. On the other hand, North Carolina. This is the cool sibling. This is the well-fed sibling. This is the only sibling worth giving a fucking visit. And let's be real here. This is the good ending. Anyway, North Carolina. It's in the top 10 states for population. They got a diverse natural landscape and a diverse economy. It birthed the aeroplane, Pepsi, Krispy Kreme, mini golf, Fred Durst, the machine gun. Wow, what a breathtaking fleet of goddamn American innovations, man. I never thought I'd do this, but I think I'm willing to put one of the Carolinas in A, you know. Now, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Virginia has more miles of the Appalachian Trail, whatever that is, than any other state, nearly a quarter of the trail's entire length.
Man, all that comes to mind is the Appalachian Mountains. So,
oh, you poor thing. Getting gutted by an eldritch horror beyond human comprehension.
Now, from my understanding, Virginia is split into a few subdivisions. To the west, you got... To the north, you got people that get that DC money, use that DC metro, pay them DC taxes, but also get really, really offended if you refer to them as being from DC, not Northern Virginia. And then you got the southeast, which is just frat bros and sparkly teeth, spray tanned Jersey construction trash. I'm feeling it deep. Maryland. I gotta give these guys credit where credit's due.
Isn't that the guy that eats a lot of food? So, my problem is right now with this video, I don't know many stereotypes of America, so I have a really hard time to understand those jokes. It's so bad. Hopefully you are here with me.
They did name themselves after one of the greatest confectionery items ever created. I respect that. Now, this is a pretty small state, so I'm going to end up basing 100% of my analysis off of Baltimore. And man, what a city. Baltimore, despite being a relatively small, seriously mid city, manages to somehow constantly remain relevant in the world. Be that through violent, fatal bridge collapses, or famous TV shows, or that fucking accent, bruh.
Wait, is that real?
Plus, I gotta give them some points.
Was that English? Bay boy say he wanted to get his joy myom Gigala snack a paintin a futiman what Bay boy say. Yes.
Plus, I gotta give them some points for being one of the few American states with a half-decent flag. But that being said, I think you guys are being hella greedy, right? Give this bit of land to West Virginia, man. God knows they need it. For now, I'm gonna give them an E, but you know, I might bump it up depending on how many angry Baltimoreans.
It is English though. It's kind of like New Yorkers have that Broadway accent. I guess this video proves that I have no idea about America.
I get in the comments. Now, Delaware. Hey, I got nothing bad to say about Delaware.
What's that necklace, dude? New York? Not yet, no.
Delaware, yo, please someone hook me up with that Delaware tax status, man. Yo, I'ma represent you guys. I just want that. Now, really though, the only thing Delaware...
So Delaware is rich.
Has going for it is its tax status and its OG status, and I mean real OG status. For my Brits, imagine the Guernsey of America. For my Europeans, imagine the Monaco of America. You get the deal. There's a lot of Delawareans with this fit and this type of humor.
Okay, that was the rich guy laughing, right? That was the Jeff Bezos laughing.
New Jersey.
This looks fucking beautiful.
Okay.
What the hell is this? This is fucking Bayonne, New Jersey. It's on the water in Bayonne.
Okay.
Look at this. On the water in Bayonne.
What is happening? So that's the meme. It's just tax rates on good. It's different per state. Really? The states have different tax rates? I'm so confused. You are one country. Why you have different tax rates? Why is it not like the same everywhere? You're one country. Behave like one.
Now, yeah, it might be one of the ugliest places on the face of planet Earth. Yes, they might all leech off New York's economy and then beat you to a pulp if you slightly insinuate that they even resemble a New Yorker. But look, man, I watch too much Sopranos to not give Jersey at least a C.
How about that brick's face when he saw the cat?
This show has had so much of an impact on me that I was in Italy calling any cut of meat I saw gabagool. I quite
gabagool.
possibly unknowingly created a few lifelong nemesises with that. But whatever. New Jersey's getting a high D or a low C. I don't care. One thing I do care about though is how Italians view me. So I'm not gonna lie, the gabagool situation did embarrass me a little bit. If you want to travel or meet people with interesting other cultures and you don't want them to hate you like they hated me, you should definitely consider learning the language. That's where italki comes in. Using this online language learning platform, you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers anytime, anywhere. Because it's just you and the teacher, you will really focus on your speaking and listening, more conversational skills, which will increase your confidence through actual interactions. For me, that's about 10,000% more useful than what I get out of conventional lessons. When I took language classes in school, I genuinely didn't gain any useful conversational skills. But 30 minutes on italki with my teacher, and I already had the basic phrases
really?
down.
Hello, Ryan.
Good night. And
good night.
Use also buonasera. So the informal one would be come stai and
Geopold, what kind of giga chat are you? You have like 8 guitars in the background.
the formal one come stai.
If you want to find a mentor that's a good match for you, just like I did, there's over 30,000 teachers,
that is
and you can
true,
find
Ryan.
the perfect one through some easy filtering. And best of all, with italki, you can pay for each lesson individually. There's no subscriptions, and lessons are priced from only $5. You get 3 trial lessons which are refundable, so there's no financial risk involved. Start your language learning journey now with the link below in the description, and don't forget, use that promo code GEOPOLD05. This gives the first 50 users an extra $5 when they make their first purchase of $10 or more. So be quick, sign up now. Pennsylvania.
Hello,
so
I'm
Philly
doing really
is, in
good.
my opinion, one of
Philly. Now we are in Philly. We're learning something about America, like about the different states. I'm so confused about it.
North America's best cities, okay?
Okay, after further research, I can confirm that was completely incorrect, and I do not stand by that statement. But this next bit still kind of stands anyway. Okay.
Surprisingly good city planning.
Oh, that looks so cute. Oh.
Public transport and greenery for an American city. Maybe because it was founded, designed, and built by Europeans.
Yeah, well, ha. How are you today, Ryan? Well.
Either way, this city is home to Frank, okay? Also, Philly cheesesteak, or also this guy.
What you doing, dickhead? Dickhead? Yeah. Yeah.
What is he saying?
Yeah.
Yo.
So look, if we're basing Pennsylvania's rating off Philly alone, we could be looking at S. But unfortunately, I gotta take into account. My theory is, because Pennsylvania is so
Rage time.
unnecessarily big, they got 20 million fucking people. Basically, they just exist as their own thing, and therefore develop their own deep south, and it's west of the state, which is fucking off the rails, bro. It's straight up a stronghold of rednecks.
Yeah, we are watching Miracle.
A slice of Alabama in the north of the US, where you can find moonshine flowing, guns toting, money owing, corn growing, patriotism showing, truck towing, lawn mowing, dinghy rowing, church
That was a German video.
going, crop sowing, eagle crowing Americans.
Okay.
8 tier. New York. Now,
8
I've
tier.
already talked
Okay,
about
well.
New York too much on this channel, so I won't bang on about it for too long. But importantly, in this state exists the biggest city in America. One of the most powerful, most important mega cities in the world. A magical place.
Imagine. So Germans, imagine 1/4 of Germany is living in New York City, because that's the fact. The whole, like 1/4 of Germany's population is living in one city.
Where dudes like this and
That's your state, Noble. Is this one of your pictures when you were working as a it could be anything.
dudes like this can peacefully coexist.
Yeah, I never Okay, Noble. Can you explain me why this is happening? Why is this a thing in New York City? Can you please explain this to me? Because it's so random and weird, and I'm a bit concerned. I will see. Okay.
On the same train home, a beacon of humanity, a role model to every other Western city.
Thank you, Zoto.
What the hell is wrong with you? No, what the hell?
Hello, Void. Hello, Ton. No, we're learning something about the USA states. And he just kissed the back of his head. Oh, God. Oh, God. Wait, I want to open the chat here, actually. I want to see you here. And the rats of the size of dogs. I heard about that. Hello, Ton. Hello, Void. I hope you have a lovely Friday. This. God, where is that? So I can confirm so far New York is accurate? Really? That is horrifying, though.
You just kissing random people?
You just kiss random people? I guess so. Why? I'm... Why? What is his problem? Aggressive black flipping? I don't know if this...
I walked in that jail for
Why?
You know what I smell?
Rikers Island prison guard reveals what a girl's prison cell smells like. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Butt ass. Butt ass. It was so bad. I mean, the funk hit you like, boom.
I knew I wasn't tripping. Why the fuck is it all this bread? Like, I'm trying to call my mom and shit. Like, the fuck is going on?
Why?
Yo, pause.
What's your wildest subway experience? I came in front, I seen a pigeon get on for one stop and then get off on the next one. Like, you could have flew there, my nigga.
Motherfucker, don't ever feel me. I'm gonna kick the shit.
New York is a
What a based cat, though.
easy S tier. It's like Pennsylvania, but better. They got everything. Connecticut.
Okay, well, I guess New York is very wild. I guess New York is just very wild. Broke as Picasso.
Pretty uninformed opinion.
That is just horrible. Look at this.
Opinion of this state is that it's basically one big suburb of New York City. Almost 100% residential detached family homes. Yes, they might have some of the most prestigious colleges in the world, but overall, it's generally like under-seasoned New York. It's like Timu, New York. For example, the famous staple pizza in Connecticut is essentially New York-style pizza, but without the cheese. Bro, that's like selling me
Huh? Put the cheese on the pizza.
a car with no wheels. That's like a house with no roof. I know you guys are kind of meant to be the cleverest Americans, but yo, taking cheese off pizza is seriously one of the lowest.
That is a crime. That is an absolute crime. Cheese without pizza, total crime. Absolutely.
Q moves a human could make. If this is the kind of thing they're proud of inventing, Connecticut's getting a low score, man. They can get a low C. Right, next up, Rhode Island. Firstly, ain't no fucking reason for this state to exist, bro. Rhode Island is like Delaware if they had tweakers instead of millionaires. It's like Delaware if the Biden family was only...
The Bidens, an elite American family, reside in Delaware. So in upstate New York, we have tomato pie, which is thick crust pizza with like undercooked sauce and powdered parm on top. I hate it. My family loves it. There used to be a time when a lot of math formulas shoved in a single screen. Well done. Well.
Hunter Biden. Rhode Island is really the outcast of New England, the unloved sibling. They got the worst potholes in the country.
Looks like looks like Kazakhstan to me. Ayo, it's not fun when you are driving and you sit in a car and you're not properly in a safe guard thingy. And you're driving over the landscape in Kazakhstan and this is your road. Man, you're in a freaking washing machine.
Some of the most potent strain of tweakers in the country. One of the worst reputations in the country. I mean, I know they got Joey, but I think in a good timeline, the only Rhode Island we have on a planet is this one. Sorry, guys. You know where you're going. Right, Massachusetts. In my eyes, this is a very decent state. Obviously, they got Boston, home to Harvard, kinda. A city where everyone's got a silly accent. They eat lots of lobster. I've heard people are quite friendly.
Okay, real question. Do you like lobster? Is this something that you enjoy to eat? Aside from the price just makes it bad. Never. I'm paying for it, but I would eat it. You never tried? Okay, so we have two sides. We have like either it's good or you never tried. Interesting.
In the same way Northerners in the UK are friendly, which is that they're also very mean, but they're also like friendly. It's hard to explain. Once again, like with Philly and New York, Boston was actually built by people that have some regard for cities being pretty and green and efficient and walkable and nice. But for some reason, everyone from other East Coast states seems to fucking hate Boston. I don't know why. But
why though then?
it's like they all for once come together in a unified alliance to just shit on Massachusetts.
Bacon, egg, and cheese in Boston. What the what are we doing here? Hey, look at the egg. A square slice of SpongeBob's ass.
Look, you can eat SpongeBob in Boston. The way he said it though. The way he said it. There was a time when I thought that Lina and Ryan were the same person. What? Yo, turn first. Ryan's hair is white. My hair is black. My horns are obviously thicker and longer than Ryan's. How could you think we're the same person? Look at my thick horn. I think you both had the same color username. Oh, really? Sizes and everything. Well. Oh, by the way, what I wanted to tell you, in terms of dragon and sizes and stuff, I found a freaking Discord channel with dragon VTubers, and I'm so happy, and I will apply, and I'm so happy. Ah! I'm so happy, man, to have other dragons too. I'm so happy. Ah! Asm, stop it. Wait, Lina, you're 1.5 horns. You're a dragon? No way! Yeah, but Noble, my 3.5 meters thick, pure muscle tail will cover that up. Noble. My thick ass 3.5 meter long tail will cover that lack of horn up. Cope. You're just jealous. I need more dragons too. Aw, thank you, Daniel. Stop copying me. Watch that sandwich.
Prosthetic bacon is what I'm looking at for fucking $7.50. Fucking $8 for this shit.
$8 for that is a bit a lot.
I guess a big negative about this state is the winters.
But yeah, I wanted to tell you how happy I am and that I will apply there, and hopefully will get like into the Twitch team as well. That would be so cool. Hello, Ace. Welcome.
Overall, Boston seems kind of like a Leeds or Manchester American equivalent. Pretty decent, but fucking cold. I do, however, have a sweet spot for that northern charm. I think it's a...
I was told Lina is only 3 pineapples tall. Who said that? Who said this? It's fucking windy. Yeah.
Swedish blood in me. So I'm gonna give you guys a strong B. Alright, now we're on to this top northern corner.
Okay. We are going to Maine. That's the only place I know a bit more because Maine Coons, you know, because of Maine Coons. The original story is from my cats, the breed of cats that I have. So Maine Coons came from Maine and the legend says they are the offspring of mating raccoons and cats. And then some salesmen brought them to Europe because they like water. And they were really good for fighting pests on the ship. That's what I know about Maine. Hello, Hannibal. Slice and slender. She's at least 4 pineapples. Shut up.
This is controversial to say. Can we just consolidate this into one state? In a country where Texas and California exist, there ain't no reason why New Hampshire and Vermont aren't at least smushed together. Anyway, I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly as the probability that someone from Maine is watching this right now is like 1 in 5,000. However, Maine is definitely the coolest out of these, alright? They got spooky evil creatures and shit. They got serious lobster-related economic prosperity. They got a fucking desert. They got hillbillies, and most importantly, my Scandinavian ancestors were out there way before, like 500 years before Columbus. Maine is getting a B. Hey, I like a good freaky evil spot like that, man. Hit me up if you got a ranch in Maine, bro. I need to...
Only in America and Russia.
I need to visit. New Hampshire is basically a more boring version of Maine. Less freaky, less lobster. I was really looking for some fun facts or something about this state. I literally couldn't find shit. Please, New Hampshireans, comment if I'm wrong here. But you know a state is bad when you look...
Has 1,300 lakes or ponds.
Up its fun facts. And the first thing that comes up is that they have around 1,000...
Country tier list. Yeah, it's like a video about the USA states. And since I know nothing about them, I thought we can learn something together.
Lakes. Boy, that ain't shit. Don't come to me, a half British, half Scandinavian man.
Norway, 65,000 lakes. Sweden, 700,000 lakes. And then Finland just humbly doubling it with 187 plus thousand lakes. And freaking that American state is complaining about the 1,300.
And brag about your amount of lakes. If you're not Canadian, you are...
Well, true, Canada has a lot of lakes. Finland. Oh, in terms of Finland, do you remember when I did the Uvu Perkele and I uploaded it on TikTok? Man, the Finnish TikTok people found it, and there's like 2 groups of them. They either really, really like it and think it's cute, and the other ones are just like, hell nah. The others are just, hell nah, please do an aggressive perkele. Like, do a proper perkele.
I'm gonna lose that one. Vermont, bro, you know how tiny of a population you gotta have to be under fucking North Dakota? You know how little citizens you gotta have to just minorly beat Wyoming? Oh no,
the perkele thing again.
All I could find about
the Finnish
these guys
people
is that
were in two places with that.
And they put out an arrest warrant for George Bush because of the Iraq War, which is pretty fucking awesome. That being said, though, you guys are getting a D, like New Hampshire, whatever. On to the glorious Midwest, starting with somewhere I have a little history with, you know, everyone's favorite state, Ohio. They got
Ohio.
corn.
Wait, who wanted to say something?
Hatchlings,
Learn something about
I'm
Ohio.
Here to inform
oh,
you that there are
Hintrell.
some ads coming up soon.
Okay, Hintrell, here's Ohio.
They got I'm struggling. Ohio's kind of interesting.
Wait, corn?
Because on one hand, they got the most dilapidated urban wastelands. On the other hand, they have these crazy rural Amish communities that are like America's version of this.
Wait, they're in Ohio?
Sentinel Island uncontacted
I thought they're like everywhere.
Truly a state with great variety. One thing I truly didn't comprehend about Ohio was how many fucking people live there. Somehow, it's the 7th most populous state. That being said, it's the only...
Look how smart they are. Hello, cuties. Welcome. How did the fish introduce himself? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Nemo, the lad who touched the butt. Thank you, cuties. Have a lovely Friday.
Only one out of the top 30 most populated states that has a declining population. That means more people want to move to Alabama than Ohio.
Oh, well.
And for that reason, we could see Ohio lose its top 10 status in the future, which isn't surprising, seeing as it's apparently pretty common to find Ohio natives cosplaying as being from other cool parts of the US. Trust me, right?
Wait, can you actually? I have a question. Can you cosplay being from a different state in America? Is that possible? Do different states have a specific drip that you can cosplay and then pretend you're like from New York City? Let's just assume New York City. Aside of the rat cat costume, obviously. You can always cosplay someone from Florida. Just have a Croco plushie with you. People from Jersey pretend to be New York City all the time. Really? I did not expect that. I did not expect that. Interesting. New York City cosplay either homeless or 30K suit. I don't think that. No, it can't be. It can't be this crazy, right? It can't be this crazy. I hope. To properly cosplay being from Florida, you gotta walk around with a crocodile in your hands or a crocodile on the leash. Yeah, a crocodile on the leash, I think would also do very, very well for a Florida cosplay. Ryan, when are you going to cosplay a Florida person? Imagine. Oh God! And then walk your pet crocodile. Thank you, Ryan. Have a lovely Friday. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Be safe. Do you hear me? Be safe. Okay. So.
Go to the trendiest block in Brooklyn. Go to the most hipster coffee shop you can see. Go up to the guy with...
Now that's if you put on my shoulder in Bam Florida cosplay. If I put you on my... Oh, wait. If I put you on my shoulder... Wait, what is that? I don't understand why this is already a cosplay, Metra. I don't understand that.
With the suspiciously thick New York accent, the Yankee cap, and the hipster beard sitting at the window, faking reading a book. Ask him...
Ha! Now you have to explain that.
Which borough he grew up in. 1000% he's gonna stutter a bit. Look up...
Metra, explain me what you meant. No. No. Metra, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me go full force. Hannibal, you are moderated too. Yeah? Surprise?
Up at you with shame in his eyes.
YouTube will not understand what I'm about to do because it is copyrighted music that I will put in here right now. So YouTubers, you're very welcome to join the stream sometimes. I promise you they're very, very funny. But Metra. My guy. It's just sometimes I wish I wish I could, human. Some days I wish I could. And you know exactly why. You little rat. Calling me an alligator.
And quietly mutter,
We're
I'm
trapped,
actually
help
from
us,
Upper
YouTube.
Arlington
No!
in Columbus,
You're
man,
not!
but please don't tell anyone. All that hate aside, I'm probably gonna end up ranking Ohio above some of the other Midwest states, purely because it has the population, it has the big cities, the manpower, and it has a half-relevant importance in terms of my career. So, you know, I gotta represent Indiana. I'm sure
Indiana, okay. Oh boy, oh boy.
Indianans will get angry at me for saying this one, but I think the state is pretty similar to Ohio, just more flat and more rural. And instead of having 3 big cities, they have 1. If anything, I guess it looks a little more aesthetically pleasing than some of the other Rust Belt states, especially if you fuck with corn.
Okay, there's a lot of corn again.
You go north, where there is a almost entirely abandoned ghost town called Gary, a place so inhospitable that they just barricade the highway exit that goes to Gary. Anything to keep humans out of that place.
That's just a waste. That's just a waste of space, though, isn't it? Isn't it like a really, really wasteful way of space and resources? Because all of this. Hello, Kilia, welcome. All of this was like, can Kilia have some highs? Everybody say hi, be nice. That is like resources, that is manpower, that is time. Why do you abandon it? I don't understand. It's so bad.
Thank you for your follow.
Thank you, hi. Hi, be nice. Pizza.
I think in an old video I actually promised I'd visit Gary, Indiana one day, so it might be on the cards.
It's
soon.
so wasteful.
We'll see.
As I said, behave. Can't have new people here, dude.
Either way, it's not looking good
Cheaper
for
to
Indiana,
than
bro.
fix. Yeah, but it's sad.
I'm sorry to do this, but
I'm so upset.
Right next to Gary, however, there exists one of the great American cities, Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, thank you, Louis. It looks like the perfect place to shoot a zombie movie. Actually true. Actually true. I do not know where Walking Dead was shooted, but it would be a good place. What is that? Okay. I confess I have no freaking idea about modern art and architecture, but this look at this. What is that? Ew, brother, ew. Brother, yeah.
Ew. What's that?
That's what?
What's that, brother?
Honeyboy, are you serious? That is what? Of course, Killian, the hatchling has to behave. They have to behave. It's a great metal bean. It's the bean. It's the bean. I have never saw that before. Oh no. We might need an education stream. Yeah, I have no idea about America. I have no idea.
Of the bean, Kanye,
the bean,
deep dish pizza. What more could you want from a city? Well, quite a bit more.
Fun fact, the artist that designed the bean hates that people call it the bean. Yeah, well, maybe he shouldn't design it like a bean.
To be fair, despite having 12 million people, this city has a completely inefficient, unreliable public transport network. Some of the worst neighborhoods in the Western Hemisphere.
Look at the beaches, though.
Shitloads of pollution, all types.
I didn't mean it because of America, because people seeing stuff in the bean. Huh? What do you mean seeing stuff? What do you mean? I love deep dish pizza and I'm tired of pretending I don't. What is deep dish pizza? Oh, what, the one that we saw? The one that we saw? Huh? I don't know what. Can you please not mess around with me? What is that now?
And in general, it's a pretty minging place. But that being said, the cultural relevance of Chicago can't be understated. The amount of music, art, etc. that's come out of here. I like how they make the river green on St. Patrick's Day, much to...
I hope it was not harmful for the water environment in there. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
The amusement of actual Irish people. I like how they put cheese under the tomato sauce.
Where's the cheese? It's under the sauce.
Okay.
There's no cheese on it. It's under the sauce.
It's under the sauce.
Like, I'm Italian and this is hurting me. It's from Chicago.
It's from Chicago. Where's the cheese? It's under the tomato sauce. That's what the guy is saying the entire time.
It's just sauce. The cheese is under the sauce.
The cheese is under the sauce.
Cheese. Cheese is under the sauce.
But that's Chicago we're talking about. What about the rest of Illinois? I know it's very frustrating for Illinois citizens how everyone thinks their state is only Chicago.
Judge it all you want, it's delicious. I mean, I never had it, so I will not judge it. I never had it. At least there's cheese on it, okay? Not like the other pizza that we saw earlier.
So I came up with a map labeling the entire state. First off, we got Abraham Lincoln's house. And then we got amphetamine abuse. Then we got the bean. And then we got corn. That should lay out.
That's the layout of the whole thing.
Out more fairly. I'm thinking low D for you guys at best. Then we got Michigan. Famously, best tap water in the country. Famously,
wait, there's a state in America where you can drink tap water? That exists? Hello, Explorer, welcome. I did not believe I did not believe I would ever hear that you can drink tap water in one. Really? But the cliche, Hannibal, the cliche is that you cannot drink tap water in America.
Least potholes in the country.
I bought 3 tires just in 1 week. It's to the point I don't want to drive on the street.
Famously, one of the most prosperous and upcoming economies in the country.
Detroit population over time. Why nobody wants to live in Detroit? Very untrue. Interesting.
Famously, beautiful, sunny, mild winters. Famously, one of the most reliable, forward-thinking public transport networks in the country.
Wait, what are those texts? Wait, maybe I should read them.
Public transport networks in the country.
Riding the bus in Detroit is extremely risky. Drive or use Uber if you value your life. Why? Really? There are places it's bad, but they're pretty isolated. Okay.
Famously, cuisine mecca.
Do you mind telling us about your states after this? What do you mean, my states? In Austria? Or what? Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know that much about it. I watched a video about it.
Prime locations for fine dining. Oh my god, man, Michigan is a mess. Cities like Detroit, Flint, they've almost reached complete meme status for just how bad they are.
I mean, there are videos about it, but they're sadly in German. Sadly. But the state I'm living in is like very, I mean, whole Austria is very touristic. But here, because of the mountains, it's like the tourism is very high. And everybody hates Vienna. Not the VTuber, the city. The city. And all Germans think when you talk about Vienna, it's like the whole freaking country, even though Vienna is very far away from me. Live translations? I mean, we could try it.
For example, right, Detroit was meant to get this big sign like Hollywood. This was the original plan they proposed. And, yo, this is what they ended up building.
They had ambition, but I guess the money was not there anymore.
This state can't even build a small-scale infrastructure project without getting fucking roasted. It's crazy.
Now here we go, thinking we about to get some shit. Now they done order us a sign off fucking wish. I thought our sign was gonna look like Hollywood. That's probably why they put this bitch right by the hood. While we was about to get some shit, they really just hold us.
Interesting.
Then gave us a sign in times of Rome. And we just keeping it real, we ain't never hated. I think I seen a bigger sign at a graduation. Hey, man, we
please don't copyright me, YouTube. Thank you.
We ain't blow too hard, fuck around and knock this shit down.
Really?
You know, some of those clear negatives aside, I gotta give it to these guys. They got some spirit, they got some soul, they got some good.
Does that taste nice? The Fago grape drink? Is that nice or is it mid?
Energy, man. Plus, despite the state shrinking in population and influence recently, you got to admit, bro, Michigan culturally is low-key more influential than all the other Midwest states combined. So many musicians, so many bands, athletes, inventors. They got everything, man. Bro, Germany straight up wouldn't have
I didn't, Daniel.
if it wasn't for Detroit. You know?
Why is that this clip, dude?
Germany straight up.
Detroit old heads telling you how they were part of Motown back in the day.
Wouldn't have music if it wasn't for Detroit. You know that Berlin style techno music, right?
Really?
It's coming. Bump. Just get.
I just assume Germans are one of two people. No. What is that? What is that cliche?
Thank you, Zolty. What the hell would depressed leather-wearing Germans do without Michigan, man? So I gotta give them a low C out of respect. Danny Brown is like my lifelong idol, bruh. They have to be above Illinois. Wisconsin. It sounds like it should be part of Canada. Wisconsin. You know what I mean? I also say that because back in the day, there was this poor dude from Wisconsin who'd never left the Midwest before until his family moved to fucking Birmingham, UK. I felt so sorry for that poor guy, bro. He was sat next to me in a load of classes, and I swear the only thing I remember the guy fucking talking about was ice hockey, how I shouldn't use swear words, and hot dog eating contests. This guy put me on Joey Chestnut early, fam, in Milwaukee.
Oh god. Okay, question. How many hot dogs could you eat in 30 minutes? Let's say like those IKEA sized ones. How many IKEA sized hot dogs could you eat in 30 minutes? 1, 4, 20? Louis, where's that going? If I'm allowed to prep. No, you just sit down right now. This shit IKEA wants like 5. I think I could manage like 1.5 or 2 maximum, depending on if I ate something before.
I know they got that funny ass clap music, and that's the absolute extent of my Wisconsin knowledge. It's getting a low C for my OG, man. Shout out.
I realized bro probably doesn't want his name on an American tier list video. Yeah, well, right now like 10. Okay, Moya hungry. The IKEA ones. I once weighed myself before and after a meal. I gained 2 kilograms. Huh? Really? How? What meal was that, please?
Next up, Minnesota. Okay, I might sound a bit biased, right? But I think this is a state people are seriously sleeping on. It's got some of the best public services in the Midwest, maybe even in the US. Education, public transport, relatively low cost of living. People here are friendly as fuck. Yeah, they might have absolutely
that sounds like a good place now.
Abysmal, unbearable, horrific winters, but they got you
covered,
I
like winter.
Minneapolis figured out the most American way to protect its citizens from harsh winters. You simply do not have to go outside. The cities in Minnesota are designed with indoor corridors going between buildings above.
No way. Wait, what? Is that, Hannibal, is that real? Is that real? Indoor corridors? To not... No. No way.
To protect its citizens from harsh winters. You simply do not have to go outside. The cities in Minnesota are designed with indoor corridors going between buildings above the streets. So effectively,
No way. Wait. Okay. How cold can it get in Wisconsin? How cold can it get? Hannibal, please translate it into Celsius. I try my best to also learn Fahrenheit, but dude, we have those in a lot of places. Even the small place I live has sky bridges. What are sky bridges? Low, like -40. Okay, fair. Okay, -40 do be harsh. -40 do be harsh. I know how it feels like. -40, fair. Okay. Haven't said anything.
Assuming you have a garage,
I didn't know that. Oh, those are the sky bridges, I guess, right?
Go about your entire day and not breathe fresh air once. It's a 4chan user's dream, bruv. This is American innovation at its finest.
I mean, I understand because of the temperature. That is okay.
Something about this skywalk system is so satisfying to my brain. I fully want to visit Minneapolis just to walk around endless corridors for the entire day. I feel like that would give me ultimate peace. I actually think this is kind of genius, right? Because
Ayo, at least they can walk to places and they don't use the car. And that is also a plus point. You are forced to walk to get to places. And I think it's kind of nice. Because I know Americans just drive a lot because it's not made for walking or biking.
it solves the mall problem that the rest of the Midwest has. The reason so many malls
walking
in Michigan,
this economy,
Ohio, Illinois, Indiana lay completely abandoned and decaying is because people have no reason to drive all the way to a physical non-food related shop and buy stuff anymore. And the idea of a mall...
You're right, I'm never using the ones of these again. I will drive a block instead. That's not what I wanted to say, Hannibal.
Is to rope customers of other shops into your shop through IRL marketing. A mall only works if people are walking through subconsciously browsing. Well, all these skywalks obviously have a lot of people walking through subconsciously browsing, and they put shops in them. It's perfect. And it means Minnesota skirts one of the big urban decay problems that every other Midwest state has.
Look at that, it looks so nice. I hope it has like a good airing system, so like that the air is not super heavy. But I think it's really nice.
In a lot of ways, Minnesota is kind of the best example of how
very
a
good,
Midwest
very
state
good,
can
Daryl.
operate
Good job.
in 2024. But
very
I have
good.
to admit, yeah, I do have a little personal bias for this state, right? They got hella Swedes. Nah, not those. I'm talking about Swedish restaurants, shops, cafes, inns, churches, a colossal IKEA,
Jonte, your family is living there.
Entire Swedish-speaking communities. I'm talking towns called Lindström. They got plaques commemorating the OGs. Their football team is called the Vikings. Oh my god, man. Plus, this state has a load of Somalis too. So I know they're gonna have my samosas on point. Man, this state is gotta be an A. It's gotta be an A. Right, Iowa. Man, I do not know. I was looking up like good things about Iowa, and consistently one of the main pros seems to be that the traffic is great. There's no congestion on the roads. Yeah, maybe because there's no fucking people there. How can you have a traffic jam if there's 2 people driving down the highway? They do not have a city with more than 208,000 people. Literally.
I mean, 200,000 people is pretty big.
All Iowa do is corn and Slipknot. That's it. I'm not definitively making this call. I'm open to Iowans changing my mind in the comments, but for now, I'm sorry, man. Missouri, on the other hand, is like Iowa, but actually with some notable cities. Well, just
Kansas
about. They kind of just about scraped having both these cities. Firstly, St. Louis. The burgers look fabulous.
I'm not flat. 200K sounds crazy big to me too. Yeah. Like really decent size.
The pizza looks god awful, but seems like a half decent city, I guess. And then we have the city that these guys
at least they have
straight
cheese.
Up stole. It's called Kansas City, but it's in Missouri by about 20 miles. Bro, make it make sense.
What
Why the fuck did Missouri get Kansas City? Surely this is unfair,
I'm not flat.
Oh, yeah. This state seems alright to me, but apparently a lot of people hate it. They got poverty, crime, decent bit of meth. Also, people like to state how it's a red state, a free Republican land, but they have these massive, insane jaywalking laws. Like, you have to pay if you get caught crossing a fucking...
Oh, that's what you told me, Hannibal, where I said you're crazy. If you cross the road, if it's not like a specific thingy.
Road. Freedom, my ass, bro. Y'all
really?
ain't got no rights. That being said, it has to be Iowa, so we'll give it a low E. And Kansas seems to be...
And you support these laws? I mean, if people would just be like not crazy and just run over roads, then it would not be needed.
Me like Missouri, but with less meth and more good old corn. Yeah, corn is becoming a big theme with these states, isn't it? I don't know too much about Kansas, but I've been informed from some inside sources, Lawrence is apparently the spot. I've heard it's a cheeky little unexploited gem, so I would like...
Wait, the best places to live in the US in 2022. With a diversified economy, affordable housing options, strong educational system, excellent parks and recreation, and a thriving arts and entertainment scene.
Like to visit one day before it gets Austinified. That being said, though, we're really getting into some Great Plains territory with Kansas, and obviously that comes with the dreaded twisters. Kansas is one of the worst states in terms of tornadoes, and is currently under severe tornado risk as I speak. And bro, you're telling me I gotta risk my fucking life?
The video is a couple months old, so don't worry, no tornadoes right now, hopefully.
And my house being violently disintegrated into dust by the wind just to live somewhere that looks like this? You're fucking tripping, bro. The risk versus reward ain't adding up. You're telling me I gotta live in an endless astroturf field and my op is the air? I gotta beef with the air? Nah, that's crazy, man. Kansas getting a low D just because I want to think it's nicer than Missouri. And I do think the world should get together and make Missouri give Kansas City to Kansas. Nebraska. Oh man, this is where my boy Saul got banished to, man. I can't represent Gene Takovic, bro. Nebraska seems like one dull state. It's either corn or Omaha, and I
why is corn everywhere?
Can't say Omaha seems like the most fun city. This state is so boring. It actually houses some mammoths. Once again, people out here risking their lives just to live in Nebraska, which seems even more boring than Kansas. So yous are unfortunately going to be getting a high F. I'm sorry. I know. Now on to the Dakotas, neither of which have a mill. So I'm gonna fly through them pretty quick because I highly doubt more than 10 people from either Dakota are ever gonna watch this. First off, you guys should just merge into one state.
Wait,
let's be real.
true, there's South and North Dakota, right? Americans are hardcore corn fans. I hope you're talking about the vegetable.
I know there were some silly arguments back in the day, but come on, man, this would make way more sense. North Dakota, they're literally just Canadians. They got Canadian accents. Winnipeg is their closest major city. They got to deal with temperatures as low as fucking minus 50 degrees. North Dakotans are on average richer than South Dakotans, I guess. Yo, people are actually balling out here for some reason. 6th highest GDP in the country. I mean, it makes sense. You'd have to pay me a serious bag to live up in Fargo, bro. In North Dakota, they got the tallest structure in the USA. The only purpose of which is to make sure they have good TV signal, allowing brain-rotting talk shows to be just as enjoyable in Grafton, North Dakota as they are in New York City. If someone put a gun up to my head and said, I hate to do this, Leo, but you're gonna have to move to one of the Dakotas for the rest of your life with no chance of escape.
Is it that bad? Is Dakota or like the Dakotas that bad?
Choose one now or perish. I would definitely go with North Dakota for the reason that I was able to talk about North Dakota for about 20-30 seconds, right? I think with South Dakota, I got max 10 seconds. The one and only notable thing about this 77,000 square mile state is that they got Mount Rushmore. That's it. All my notes on South Dakota are done. They are getting a medium to low E. Sorry. Right, well, that's the first half.
That's very, very low ranking.
I've done. The East Coast, New England, and the Midwest have all been tier listed, and I'm going to emphasize this right. This isn't final. If you've got any hot takes about any of these ratings or any upcoming ratings, please put them in the comments.
All right. We will watch the other videos soon too. So this was part 1. There are 2 more parts. I still don't know how Ohio got S. Wait. No. Ohio is C, Metra. Ohio is here. Florida and New York are S. Rush B. I want to know what he thinks about my states. Yeah, we will watch that next week probably. I got confused. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Okay, but that was that video. I hope you liked it.